Well, hey there, friend. Good morning. My name is Shannon McKinstrie, or good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. And I am so excited to take you through a little bit of a crash course on TikTok, whether you're just getting started or you don't even have TikTok yet, or you've been on it and you're just feeling blah about it. I'm going to fix that for you today. Now, just so you know, I'm not technically a TikTok coach, but I have helped a lot of people grow on TikTok as well as myself. And the reason I want to preface that is that I kind of just started showing up on TikTok and sharing stuff and not really obeying all the rules, and magic started happening. And I was just like, let me just test some things out and see what happens. And it's been hugely successful for my business. So I just want you to know, I think when you go into a platform like TikTok, especially if you're brand new and you're like, I'm so confused, doesn't hurt to just try, test, and tweak. I don't want you to put pressure on yourself that you need to grow 1 million followers. I'm going to show you the 3 types of content that I create every week, and show you how easy it can be. My number 1 rule is that you got to have fun, obviously, but number 2, take what you're already creating that's doing well and getting reactions and repurpose it for TikTok in a TikTok friendly format. TikTok is not all about the fancy edits. Of course you'll see stuff like that from the big time content creators. But what I see trending on TikTok right now, just from simply observing for myself and my clients, is they look like Instagram stories. Very off the cuff. You just pick up your phone, share a thought, a perspective, a tip, put it down, you're done. Okay. Obviously there's the funny trends. Those are always going to do well. And then the third is just simple B-roll with a trending audio with a simple text. And those are the 3 pieces of content I create on TikTok regularly. And they do so well for me. And I want them to do well for you too. But I just want to say that I started going on TikTok and I don't have a crazy huge following, but enough that I have sold. I've had 50 new signups for my course without even realizing it. It was like by accident, truly. All of a sudden I saw all these new sales coming in and I'm like, where are they coming from? I'm like, oh my gosh, TikTok. So when I say it is a great platform for being lazy, it is. I spend a lot of time on Instagram every day. That's where my community is. That's where I'm diving in. I'm having conversations. I am in it. I'm in the thick of it on Instagram. TikTok, I kind of just create a few things in the morning and at night, throw them up, detach myself from the outcome, and they do well. Okay. So if you're like, I can't deal with another one, this is the platform for you, because I'm going to show you how easy it is and that you don't have to spend hours on your content. And if you do, come to me, we will fix that. So first things first, before you go into TikTok, because there are a lot, Instagram has a lot of features, TikTok, wild. Okay. What I want you to do is go to TikTok Creative Center, and then you're going to click on trends. Okay. This is free, all by TikTok. Very kind of them to do this. So then you're going to click on, let's start with hashtags, because again, hashtags, everyone's always stressing over hashtags. I've heard on TikTok you should only do 3 or 4. I do it all. Sometimes I do 10, sometimes I do 3. It just depends on, but it's basically to convince the algorithm who should see it. Now, obviously, when you go in here, you're going to see hashtags that are trending all over TikTok. We don't want that. We want hashtags that are trending within your niche. So of course you can search, you can go by industry, and then of course you can kind of see what other ones are here. Now, always try to do ones that have an upward arrow, a green arrow, but also with hashtags, I just made sure that when I'm in TikTok that I'm using ones within my niche and that makes sense with the content it is. So I use TikTok to build my course and community for people who do what I do. Instagram is where I teach people Instagram tips, marketing tips, video tips. TikTok is where I teach people how to do what I do as a social media mentor and manager to build a profitable business. So it's 2 very different arms of my business. I've got marketing consulting, social media marketing consulting. That's what I show up on Instagram for, to help people dissect it. TikTok, I'm showing up for people who want to do what I do. So it's another cool idea that if you are trying to grow on TikTok, but maybe you're a little bored and or you're just like, I just want to do something different. If there's another arm of your business, great way to do that. Okay. And of course, sometimes I'll share just a marketing tip. Social media managers like myself love to see that stuff too, but that's just a little bonus tip for you. Okay. So to save me time, I already know what hashtags I do, but this is a great one for you to, kind of go through and see. But I don't have time to sit and scroll and look for songs that are trending. I just don't. My rule is 5 minutes on TikTok in the morning to come up with an idea. But typically I just go here, grab a song. I'll find the song. I'll open TikTok. I'll grab some video for my camera roll, and then I will throw something I wrote either on a thread or Twitter or LinkedIn and put it on the video. That's it. So if you're already creating content on LinkedIn, Threads, Twitter, Instagram, anything like that, you're going to take it and put it into a TikTok format. Now, again, I'll show you what those formats look like. There's 3 that I find to be the winning formats on TikTok right now, and they're about to be all yours, okay? But again, I don't want you thinking of new ideas. I want you to go on here, find the songs you want to do, find the hashtags, and then go to TikTok before you overwhelm yourself. Here are the popular trending songs from the last 7 days. You can obviously click view more, see more. You can look at longer ones. But what I want you to look for is the green arrow going up. Some start trending downwards after a little bit. Like as you can see, Mariah Carey's is already trending downwards, probably because there was a huge uptick last week. And now it's, this is one I just did as well. That audio is doing very well for people. Obviously, it should fit your brand, align with the vibe you want, right? But this way now, I'm like, okay, I've got a couple songs. I already know my hashtags. Now I just have to open up TikTok, open up the song, grab a video from my camera roll, and put the text of another piece of content that did well, okay? So I'll show you what that looks like, but this is great. TikTok Creative Center, completely free, completely by TikTok. It is a godsend, okay? Lots of other stuff on here too if you want to dive in. All right, now I'm going to take you over to TikTok and just walk you through my account. And I want to show you, I don't have that big of a following. But when I tell you, it's wild. The opt-ins for my email, the course sales without even DMing anyone. This is what's been crazy to me. So if you have a really strong funnel, an email funnel, I wouldn't even bother with a bunch of links, like a links page where you have a ton. As soon as I change from my links page, because a lot of people on TikTok don't know who I am, as soon as I changed it from a links page with a ton of options to my one single opt-in for social media managers, crazy growth, okay? As far as sales. So they click on that, they go to my funnel, my course sells. I have not DM'd any of these people. It's truly amazing, right? I also keep my bio very clean and simple, not as many characters as Instagram. So I always like to say rule of 3. Number 1, who are they to you? I'm sorry, who are you to them? So I am their marketing bestie, okay? Number 2, what am I doing for them? I'm curing creative fatigue, because I know people in social media marketing we're tired. We're coming up with everyone else's content. We forget about our own. That's a big common theme in my content over here, because again, my content here is very different than what I share on Instagram. And then lastly, a little social proof. So 1, 2, 3, and you're done. And then you're easy. Little drop it, freebie, funnel, something easy so that they're not navigating a bunch of stuff, okay? All right, so always have 3 pinned posts, same as Instagram. I use 1 for social proof, so this is a social proof pinned post showing that, hi, people trust me, right? Second is something really educational and helpful that people love. This one did great on TikTok, did great on Instagram as well, so I pinned that. And then third, a funny haha, empathy, anything that makes them feel seen. So 1, 2, 3 pinned, so when they come to your content in your account, they're like, oh, that's what she does. Oh my gosh, she makes me feel seen too. Oh, and she knows what she's talking about. He or she knows what they're talking about. Done. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Now let's dive into the 3 types of content. And the reason I didn't do like a big presentation for any of this is I like to just dive into these platforms and show you guys what's working, what's not working. I am a big time advocate for trying, testing, and tweaking. Again, detach yourself from the outcome. TikTok is a great place to just experiment. And another thing I want to say before I get into this is, I know a lot of people were like, oh, I'm just going to repurpose my Instagram content. Instagram and TikTok could not be more different. And I know that's weird to hear, but they are so incredibly different. What works on TikTok might not work on Instagram and vice versa. Trust me, I've tried it with myself and my clients. When we create native to the TikTok platform, it does so much better. You got to find what's working on TikTok, and what's working on TikTok right now really well are these 3. Okay, ready? Number 1. All right, talking directly to camera, just like this one. I'm just talking to camera, but let me show you this because this is going to be one of my favorites for you to try. I'm going to pause it in a moment.
Content strategy has gotten me to over 130,000 followers on Instagram without ads, sleazy tactics, or posting every day. And the top.
Okay, ready? I want to make sure you see hook over my head. It goes away in a second. I usually leave up about 5 seconds. And then out of my mouth is something else. I'm not repeating what I said there. This is going to grab their eyeballs. Out of your mouth, it needs to be another type of hook. I like to keep this part conversational, and it works every time. This not only works great for TikTok, but this actually does work well for Instagram too. So this is one of the rare ones that I will typically repurpose from Instagram to TikTok, okay? Again, sometimes I do short, sometimes I do long. Try, test, tweak. There's no one way to do it. And then I had about 5 hashtags. Sometimes I have more. But this did very, very well for me, okay? I want to show you another version of this though, all right? Oftentimes I'll just be in my car and something will come to my head and I'll just say it, okay? Like I said, off the cuff, very much like an Instagram story. So while that was kind of a little more educational, this is the second type of talk to camera, so that I want you to try. Ready? I'm just gonna play it so you can hear it.
Do you realize that social media managers are so busy creating content for their clients and constantly logged into their clients' accounts, so they really don't have a lot of time to create content for their own platform or build their own following. So you shouldn't be judging a social media manager's skills based off of their follower count, right? Okay, just checking.
Right? So very conversational, very off the cuff. So so of one of your pieces of content, it's going to be talk to camera. You're going to do two ways. One, steal my this. Here's a hack for this. Here's how I do this. I'm a so-and-so. That's how I do this. That type of talk to camera. And then the shift perspecting truth bombs, right? Value bombs. I do a lot of these and they all do very, very well. And even if they don't do crazy view-wise, they convert. Let's go to the other one, which I just said earlier. The second type is just simple B-roll with a trending audio and text on top. Here's one of them. This is one of those perfect examples of something I shared on Twitter that people, or I think it was Threads, and people were like, whoa, I never thought of it that way. Whoa, that's a really hot take. I grabbed some video from my camera roll, grabbed the trending audio, and there you have it, and it's done. Okay? So that's number 2. But again, you got to remember the copy does matter. The text does matter. So if you're struggling with copywriting and text, that's definitely something to lean on and get better at. But trending audio, B-roll, text. 6 seconds. My number one rule for the ones like this is when you watch this took about 2 to 3 seconds to read. This takes about another 3 to 2 seconds to read, and then you end it. Now I'll show you another version, which is ones like this, right? Kind of like those. Just want to mute that for a second. This one's a little bit longer, right? So I kept this one around 9 seconds. Ideally, you want to keep it up just long enough for them to read it. So there you go. You've already got your talk to the camera with either quick little thoughts you have, and as of course tips like I showed you, and then the B-roll text overlay, and lastly, the funny trends, of course. Okay. So let's pull up one of these. Again, some of these I'll just kind of throw up there, and if they don't do well, I'm like, whatever, I don't care. I had fun. But here's one that did very well for my family and I. I'm already there. Take a look around. Okay, so that one did recently go viral. People loved it. And even though it's not necessarily about my business, it did bring people in. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm a mom too. I'm in social media marketing too, because they go to my bio and they see. So of course, the funny trends are always a good one. I'll show you one other right here. I loved this one. People loved this one. Again, this was within my niche, so I'll play this one. I pay attention to things that most people ignore. Now, what I want to point out here is when it comes to trends, you need to go by the format that's already working. So when I click on this sound, you will see everyone basically does the same thing. I pay attention to things that most people ignore, and then in quotes, they put what that thing is that will be relatable to their audience. Okay? So when I click on that, you'll see. So whenever you're going to do these trends, make sure you are, look, here we go, here we go. You see how it's all the same format? Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Do what's working. All right, so let's do one more quick overview. Keep your bio short, sweet, simple. Who you are to them, what you solve, and lastly, what's the social proof? Same with here, social proof, something educational, something funny, empathetic, etc. And then your 3 types of content. Talk to the camera, drop a value bomb, drop a thought, done. If you're still practicing talking to the camera, lean heavily on the B-roll with the text overlay and the trending sound. And then lastly, the trends. But again, what my main thing I really want to drive home is as you scroll my TikTok, you'll also see there's a lot of random stuff I just put up because I feel like it. Right? One of my daughters being funny, one of my husband being funny. If I feel like posting it, I'm posting it. There's a lot of freedom in TikTok this way where, and you'll see my views will be pretty much all over the place. Instagram, I kind of know what to expect. Every reel, I have an expectation. I'm like, this is going to get at least at minimum here. TikTok is very different. It's very much like SEO based in that way. So it kind of, again, it takes the pressure off. Try, test, tweak. I hope this was helpful. Let me know. I'm very open to answering any questions. But again, I think what it all comes down to is knowing your audience, I know my audience is a lot of social media managers trying to make more money. So I share a lot of content on how to make more money as a social media manager. My trends, I keep very light and funny as frustrations, things that annoy social media managers. And then of course, my B-roll text is kind of like the goal, the desire that they have. So as long as you guys are creating content that feels good to you and you like it and it speaks to your people and it resonates, you're going to do well. Number one rule, repurpose things that are already getting reactions, put them in a TikTok format. Decide, do I want to talk to the camera on this? Or would I rather do B-roll with a text overlay? Or is there a funny trend that matches this feeling? Okay. And that's it from me. I want to keep this very, very simple because trust me, TikTok is something that is so unique to who you are as a person. I can't teach that, right? All I can teach you is the 3 types of videos you should lean into and what should be in your bio. The rest is up to you. Show up, have fun, let your personality shine. And so many people are like, oh, well, I'm really shy. Great. That's great. There's a ton of shy people on TikTok that are doing well. Don't be anything but who you are. And then lastly, I want to just close it out by also saying that my last thing, as you can see, I have a lot of real estate clients. So when I'm trying to come up with content ideas for them, I search. So let's see, let's say you are a photographer, or let's do this, wedding photographer. Just type it in and then just see what other people are creating. Okay. And then when you're on your mobile device, when you type that in, go down to people also searching for, and you'll see other things. But what's so amazing is look at how raw and authentic these are. Do you see? So again, look at what's working within your niche. Use the creative, the site I shared in the beginning. Create your bio, lean on those videos, and just look at what's going on in other people other people within your niche. But like I said, go on your actual TikTok on your device, and after you type in your niche, scroll down, and you'll see what other people are searching for. And here's other ones too. So right away, if you are a wedding photographer and I'm working with you, I'm going to go, okay, what are wedding photography must-haves? What are wedding photography styles? What's a wedding photographer's timeline? And there's your first 3 pieces of content. I'm so excited for you. Let me know how it goes. And thank you again to Juan for having me, and happy creating.